Hello friends, this is the first lecture on introduction to digital signal processing, where this will be a purely introduction to the subject of digital signal processing. So myself Mrs. Sakre from Electronics Department, AG Patil Institute of Technology, going for the very first lecture on digital signal processing. Digital signal processing is really very important because now the whole world is gone digital. So what exactly is digital signal processing, that we have to really learn it out. Coming to the next slide, I have a very animated form of a block diagram which is going to explain you about the basic block diagrams contents in the general digital signal processing. Now in this general digital signal processing, uh, what is required is obviously the signal. The signals can be of any type. Like we in the signal systems, the subject that was introduced in second year, where the basics of all the types of signals are actually learned, where we understand what are the different types of signals. We have learned all the mathematical processing on the signals, and all these things, after having mathematically considered, now we are into the subject called as actual digital signal processing. So what exactly is digital signal processing, you will come to know when we get into this whole block diagram. So in the starting point, we'll understand what exactly is the signal. Now in the block diagram, what is shown here is a person with a mic who is speaking. Now everybody knows that this is a microphone where the person wishes to speak. Now the sound systems will be converted into your electrical signals via the microphone, which is called as a transducer. Everybody knows about this. Now this is one type of signal. Now you can have any type of signals. You can have something like a picture. Suppose I have a camera is going to capture the optical signals. So even here my capturing a device will be a camera. Thus, likewise, I have different signals which I will be using. I will clear it out different types of signals later in the video lectures. So presently, we understand that this is an electrical signal which has been given by our transducer, which is here a microphone. Now, the signal is totally analog. Now in the analog, I cannot do any processing. Like analog circuits, they do the processing. That is a different thing. We have learned in LIC, in op-amps and all those things, where how to integrate a signal, how to differentiate, how to filter and all those things. But here in digital signal processing, the beauty of the subject is prior the designing, prior the manufacturing of the things, what we do is we can go for the simulation type of things. Like simulation can be done in such a manner that we can do all the trial and error methods, where the signal can be observed, like what exactly can be the input to obtain a particular output of your interest. So this is what is going to be our type of study like. So in the beginning, we will have to understand what exactly are the different types of blocks, building blocks, which are introduced in the digital signal processing. So first of all, anybody can think about is how analog signal can be converted into a digital signals. Now this is a digital, means what, there is one block which is has to be introduced between the analog part and the digital part. So what is that called as? It is called as a ADC, where you can have any types of, there are many types of ADCs, we all know. So at least the basic understanding is we are using a block where a type of conversion is done from analog to digital. Now this is actually digital system where you are having the binary platform where the whole PC or the processor is going to work out. And then I know that any signal which is digital cannot be driving it directly at any output devices. So what exactly is done? Exactly the opposite thing is done in this. What you do is you convert the digital to analog. So again a DAC is used, a digital analog conversion method. There are many methods used into this, which is directly going to be converted into the proper output device. Now for my microphone, the output device will be a speaker. So if this is this output device, at that time this loudspeaker which is compatible to this microphone or the application, it is going to be connected, and you get whatever the spoken signals are there here, it has been heard in the loudspeaker. Now what exactly, what good things we have done here? What goods we have? See, just see, the analog signal was there, we have converted to binary, we are getting an output. Now what good thing we have done? We obtained a very worsened thing here, is it not? But this is not that as simple as this. What we do is, when we get a signal here, probably what happens, the signal, it has to be replicated as original as possible. We cannot actually get the original, very original signal back 100%. We can be nearer to 99.9%, but because of the quantizations and all aspects which I will be discussing right now, we'll never get an original signal back, be it any signal. Okay, so when I say that we are trying to convert analog to digital, prior to digital there is one state called as a discrete system. There is a discrete system. When we go into the further lectures, we will be observing what exactly are the discrete. I think in S&S you have got an introduction exactly how a signal x of t or any continuous time signal, we call it, which can be taken as, now here this is a, uh, I can say x of t here. Uh, this can be called as a x of t signal, which can be converted into the discrete time signal. I call it x of n here. Now x of n can be obtained from x of t. Now I have the sampling method to be introduced here. What exactly is sampling? That all things are the basic things required. Exactly how to go for the discrete time signals, how to obtain DT signals, and then actually the digital systems comes into this. Now why did I do this? Because I wanted to play with the signals. Suppose here there was a music system playing. For example, if in this music system, if I want to increase the bass, or I want to increase the treble. Bass are the drum beats and treble are the very high pitch, high frequency devices or the instruments used here. If I want to enhance either of the thing, what you do is you select those frequency components here, because once I have done it in the discrete time component, everything is that very clear. Now here in the discrete time, I may not have the knowledge of the frequency there. What I would do is I have to convert it into Fourier or the frequency domain, and there I come to know about all the components which are required for or which are there for the bass and all, and these things are going to be enhanced. Whatever we do in amplification for high pass filtering, similarly we can do in this, but this is on the simulation platform, and once you are satisfied with all the components that you want to have it as enhanced, so all those things can be what do you call, exaggerated, or you can enhance it, and after that it is converted to DAC, and then you see a very beautiful drums. If you want to enhance, that drum is easily enhanced, and you have a feel of the drum bits coming out of the speaker. So this is how the things are done in the sound processing. Likewise, we have many things. If suppose it is an image here, suppose I want to change the contrast of the image, I do the same things. Some little details of the image processings are required here, so it is out of the scope here, but still that as a signal, and we do the same steps as required for a one-dimensional signal. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, we'll see what exactly are the different applications of DSP. There are many applications. You name one some application and you have it done in the DSP. So you, as presently I told you, it is audio signal processing already I have mentioned. Then we have audio and video compression also. Like in when you go for when you send the images or the videos or you upload it on the web pages, we need the images or the videos, all those things to be converted to JPEG, because these are the compression methods. So how do you do it? You do with the algorithms here, and for that you want the signal in the digital part. So that is why this part is again coming under the digital signal processing. Now, similarly, the speech processing, you try to improve the speech. Accordingly, you have even the recognition methods, the speech of a person. There are recognition methods. There are, many applications are there. You can identify a person's voice by the contents in the speech. There are pitch, there is a sound. All these things can help you identify a person. So recognition can be used. You have digital image processing, as I've already told you. Image can be the signal here, and image processing is the hot cake nowadays, which everybody is dealing with unknowingly, though probably nobody knows about it, what exactly is happening in the image processing, but still we happily do everything on the mobile. So we are part and parcel of this image processing without knowing it, but there is a science behind the whole. This is a different subject. Again comes the radar application. See, in the radar applications, again you get the signals back. What is radar? It is radio detection and ranging. You try to detect the plane in the air, or air traffic is controlled by the radar watchtowers and all those things. What happening in the seas also? You have the radars to identify the location of the ship or whatever in the we can say the international waters. We can control the traffic there. Nowadays the border issues are coming into picture, so we don't want any intruders in our seas or somewhere else. So we keep on having this. So what you do is, so radar applications also, we are getting the signals. We can try and convert them in digital and make some what do you call, user friendly format in which the things are easily observed at how exactly things can be obtained. There are many applications. So for this is the end, and we'll meet in the next lecture. And one more thing is, what are the different processors? Processors are nothing but what exactly is this processor? See, in PCs and all, we have so many processors, quad processor, those processors, there are almost 7,000 plus the rates are. But what about this DSP processor? That's hardly in thousands. And what exactly is the operation done? You might have, you know about the convolution operation. What is convolution operation? You simply multiply two things and then add together. So addition and multiplication are the two basic what do you call, the mathematical operations required. So these are the two mathematical operations basically done by the DSP processors. That's that, and they are going to do the special operations. So based on that, we have two architectures here: Harvard architecture and von Neumann memory architectures. Now they have their own limitations and their own benefits. Here the access is done simultaneously, like you give the commands to the memory bank, and using two independent sets of buses. Now everybody knows about the microprocessor, so there's no need of explaining what is a bus. This architecture can execute mathematical operations while fetching the further instructions, whereas this is when Neumann is going to have only one database. Operations cannot be simultaneously done. So this is what about the basic DSP processor. In the next lecture, we will consider what exactly is the sampling and how and all we can introduce this sampling method into this concept of converting analog to discrete components, and then we'll go further into the subject. Thank you for the listening the lecture.